We live in a world where it's literally becoming harder and harder for people to focus as they are carried away with different kinds of things. Technology playing a very important role in this, and sadly most people are not utilizing it in the right way. We are losing something very unique to us as human beings, our ability to read. It is becoming very difficult for people to take a book, stare on it, read it, and complete it. Why that is happening is because our mind has been shifted, and then technology gives us short-term enjoyment, and we feel that, okay, the same should be the result of reading a book. We just want to get the book done, and just like that. But then in doing so, we lose our ability to read, and then reading takes you to different kinds of world. It opens you to different kinds of possibilities. When a person writes a book, he pours out his story, pours out his life into the book, he pours out the experience. These are things that you may not get in a video. These are things you may not even get out there. These are things you may not get interacting with people, but you can get it from a book, because a book lets you journey beyond where you are. But then it's becoming so difficult for people to read because it's either so boring to them, or it's just they get easily distracted by something else, by work, by technology, and then just end up dumping the book. And to be honest, I struggled with this a lot. It becomes so difficult to read because you are so engrossed in different kinds of things, in technology and all of those things, that you find it difficult to read. But then as I started to read, I start to understand the essence of reading, that it develops your mindset, it develops your critical thinking ability, it makes you to be more imaginative. That is why I started venturing more into reading. But then I noticed that as the more that I wanted to read, it became a problem. I would just read 1-2 pages, and then I'm bored and tired. I dump the book and just throw it, and then it goes on like that. I get inspired to read, and then goes off. So it just keeps fluctuating, and I don't get anything done. So I've found myself in a position where I'm just literally sitting down, doing literally nothing, just hi, hello, heavy, this and that to people, having no focus, having no direction, just living life anyhow, no purpose, nothing. And it sounded fun to me because, okay, I'm just enjoying myself, I'm doing literally nothing. And also I've also found myself in a situation where I've been so engrossed in technology, in phone, that I totally lose reality of everything around me. So engrossed in phone, in social media, swiping, taking photos, doing this and this and that and that and that and that and that and that. And then at the end of the day, you ask yourself, what did I do? Or what did I learn? Okay? And then you also have the other part where, okay, I found myself start taking reading seriously, and that I start investing more in reading, expanding my mind, expanding my horizon, and then having the ability to read books. And it's a very pretty good. If you look at most CEOs, look at most great people out there, they will always tell you that they read books. Some read 2-3 books a week and all of those things. But I haven't gotten to that level, so how am I going to do that? Okay? Now, you need to understand that as much as you have a phone, you may not necessarily have the hard copy, although it's recommended, but you may not necessarily have the hard copy of the book. You can also have the soft copy of the book you want to read on your phone, okay? You can download the PDF, or you could have the audio version that you can listen to the book, but I prefer more of reading it, having the book, downloading it online, and then reading it on your laptop or tablet. But the thing with this is that once you're on your phone, there's a high probability of you getting distracted by something. A message can come in, this can come in, so you may just end up not reading if you don't put in a lot of discipline. Okay, so what are my tips to developing your reading habits? And these are things I tried personally, having tried a lot of things and failed. Number one, try and read things that are around your interests or niche. Start with that, okay? If you love fashion, if you love money, if you love finance, if you love technology, if you love electrical engineering, if you love agriculture, look for books that relate to that. If you love things about family and relationship, look for books that relate to that aspect of your niche, and then try and read in those areas, okay? Once you do that, you start developing the aspect. If you hate finance and then you go and read a book about finance, it gets so boring to you. And then that sends a psychological effect to your brain that, okay, reading is boring, but it's not necessarily reading is boring. You're actually reading something that is not interesting to you yet, okay? But then you find something you love reading about agriculture, you find a book about agriculture, a book about finance, how to make money, how to invest in all of those things, and then you love it, and then you read it, you're more enticed to read. Another thing that I do is that whenever I get a book that I want to read, that I'm actually interested in, I first of all check, let's say I've gotten the niche, I know the book that I want to read now, it's about finance or something, and then I've gotten the exact title, okay, let's say How to Turn Your Passion into Success by Christopher Howard. I have a book like that, okay. Now I look how many pages are in the book, okay. Now you have like 100, like for example, this book has 318 pages. So to some individuals, that is like, oh, how do you expect me to read 318 pages? I can't even do that. I'm struggling to read 2-3 pages. Yeah, that's true. Now what you need to do is that you need to divide and conquer. You need to break down. So what I do is that, how I tried this first of all was that I just took the book, and then the first day I started reading the book. So, as for example, I'm reading a book of turning your passion, or let's say turning your passions into wealth. And then, as I read the book, currently I'm reading a book called Surrounded by Idiots, a book by Thomas Erickson. It's a very interesting book about different kinds of personality, red, blue, yellow, and green. You will love that book. Please check it out. And then the first day I read the book, it was quite interesting that I read the first page, read the second, third, fourth, to the point that I was in, I think around the 10th page, okay? Then I was engaged in something else. Okay, so I realized that this day I was able to read 10 pages, and it took me like roughly 2 or 3 hours to read, okay? Now what you want to do is that you want to evaluate within an hour or within 30 minutes. Look at your schedule. How much time can I spare into reading? If it's 30 minutes, take that 30 minutes and see, okay, now how long is it going to take me, or how many pages can I read in 30 minutes, okay? Once you have gotten that, now you're going to actually break that down, okay? So if it takes you 30 minutes to read one page, okay, how many minutes is it going to take you to, or let's say for example, if it takes you a day, let's say in a day you are only able to read, let's say 10 pages. Let's say in a day you're only able to read 10 pages. So how many days is it going to take you to read 310? So you do the multiplication, and so you see, okay, it's going to take you maybe like 13 days and all of those, some 10 days, some 11 days to actually do, complete the book. So now within that day, you know that, okay, I'm only sparing 30 minutes, or within that day, you know I'm only sparing 25 minutes or 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. But then within the day, you're able to finish 10 pages, 11 pages. So now that is how you're going to dedicate yourself. So you're going to see now, the next part comes in discipline. You're going to say, I'm going to discipline myself in that every day I must make sure that I complete 10 pages of this book. Since you have evaluated it before, so you're going to make sure that I'm going to complete 10 pages, minimum of 10. I can go above, but I cannot go below the 10 pages. So now the next thing, now you find a time that is suitable for it. So most of the time I read while going to the office, so inside the car, and then so sometimes at home if I wake earlier, then I'll read. Then along the road, in the car, I'll be reading, and then till I get to the office, then I start work. So that gap, I feel that's my free space, so I utilize it properly and then take it to read. So your free space could be anytime. It could be in the afternoon, it could be in the evening, it could be in the morning. Just figure out, people are different, and find out how much time you can spare. So how many pages can you complete within that time frame? Okay, so in a day I can complete 10 pages. So that 10 pages, make sure that every single day you're doing that. So if it takes you a day to complete 10 pages, so 300 pages is going to take you how many days? So you get like that. So like within 30 days or within a month, you should be able to complete the book. So now it depends on how well you go about it. Okay, but you can read more if you're able to read 30, 40 pages a day. If you have more time, if it takes you 25 minutes to read 10 pages, then I'm sure you can spare another 25 minutes, and then you'll be able to read 20 minutes, 25 minutes. We have time, it's just that proper management of the time is what is actually the problem. So before you know it, it could take you 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So like the book I'm reading, Surrounded by Idiots, I started reading it on Monday rather, and the book it's a 200-page book, and so I'm in page 70, I think 74 now. Okay, so by the end of the week I should get to 100, okay, or more, page 100 or more. So now I've already evaluated and I know that it's going to take me 2 weeks to complete the book based on my time schedule. So within this week I'll be able to cover 100 pages, then the next week I'll be able to complete the rest of it. So before you know it, in 2 weeks I've already read one book. So it just goes like that. So within a month I can be reading 2 books. So now the more you read, the faster you get. It's practice. As you read, you get faster and faster. You're able to understand, you're able to connect the dot. Initially it will be difficult. You can spend 2 hours, 3 hours on just 4 pages because it's difficult for you to comprehend this and this and that, the grammar, this and this and that. So I always have a dictionary with me on my phone and this that I can use to search words that I don't know out, or I can write them down later. I find that because it has really exposed me to a lot of new words. And then so that's it about reading. But then we need to understand that reading is one aspect. Your implementation of what you read is actually very significant. Okay, so this is where it brings in the variation. A person can be watching a video, sees something very significant and implements it. You that is reading a book, you saw something very significant in the book, but you didn't implement it. So the person that's watching the video has more leverage over you. So, but you need to understand that a book exposes you to different areas, different what people experience. They pour it out in a book that they won't do it in a video or in a post or something like that. So you have the ability to dive right into the mind of the person. So utilize that information. Always be attentive. There's something I have to learn from this book. I have to get something that can change my life, or I can use to impart people, or I can use to actually train people out there. How can I utilize this information? So you're always looking at how do I action this, else you just become useless, and then you need to action it. You could do it as a hobby. You want to develop yourself, but in the process you need to be learning something there that will bring transformation in your life in one way or the other. So you need to develop the habit of reading. Love it, you enjoy it, mingle with people that read a lot, and then you can join groups where they share novels or different groups. This is how you can utilize technology. There are groups online, Facebook groups, where they share books that you can read, reviews. These are ways you motivate yourself. Go on YouTube, say, how do I read, book reviews and all of those things. So you build up yourself. Before you know it, you start having the interest to read, and you can apply this in every other aspect of your life. In your education too, you can see, okay, I have a textbook. Let's say a textbook on biology. Okay, now I have to complete, the textbook is 300 pages. How many pages can I read a day? So if you're able to divide this as a student, you're able to evaluate your time properly. It makes work very easy for you, and then you're cool. You just enjoy yourself because you've already planned everything and your life is much more organized. So I hope you love this video. Please if you know you really loved it, I would love if you can like the video, and then please share the video, share it to people so they can actually learn. I want people to start reading. It's very essential. We're so hooked up in our phones, and then we are leaving our essence of reading. So let's read more. Let's utilize the technology we have into reading. Let's utilize the books that we have. The libraries are crying, no one is touching them, and these are very key books. Okay, so whatever resource you have around, utilize it. Develop a habit of reading. Read a lot, and it will really help you out. So till we'll see you again, I remain your boy Blessing John Aseweje, and have a great day. Keep reading, and I hope next time you can share in the comment how well you have done or how far you'll be reading. If there are new techniques you're using, please let me know. I want to learn, I want to develop, I want to build up myself also. If there are new ways you have developed on how to read, just share it down so other people can also learn. They're all in the learning journey. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.